You would think that I know how to play with my sources, and I don't at all. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Brunch. It is Father's Day. I am a cat dad, so I expect everybody to bow down and wish me a happy Father's Day because I am an important part of the human ecosystem um, by fostering cats. Steve, before I start, can I introduce you to some spice? Have you been playing Dune, Womp Rat? I actually had no idea that a Dune game was coming out, and then I just saw everybody started playing this Dune game. Uh, I've played two Dune games. I played Dune 2 back in the day. It was an RTS. It was terrible, but also I have an affinity for terrible RTSs. And then there was Battle for Dune, where which was better. It had like this veteran system where your units would get stronger over time. I'll have to look into it. I don't have a lot of time to play video games other than this is my video game time. Before I was doing brunches, I would play video games on Sunday mornings from like 6 a.m. until my wife woke up. And now I do brunch, so I don't really play many video games anymore. Oh man, I need my coffee. I can't even think right now. But the summer is coming up, and I do need a summer game. So I will look into Dune and see how it is. Ads. We're going. We don't need ads. We have... What do we got? Well, we have bonus drops, which actually, frustratingly, I brought up a bunch of crappy characters from G12 to G13 just for the hell of it, just to slowly get this project done of having all my characters at G13. Because I assumed I had enough time for my Bad Batch. But now my Bad Batch are almost done because of these bonus drops. And I'm running out of... I don't even know if it's on this level. But I'm running out of med packs. Like, I guess I can just go to the med packs thing. Where is it? I have, I think, enough med packs to take, like, one of them to G13. And Wrecker will be that character today. So that's an interesting conundrum. I don't feel like I've been out of med packs in a very, very, very long time. Philosophical question. I now have TP. I love that TP Boogaloo is catching on. All at 7 stars, Batcher 5, Omega 3, Fugitive G12, rest pre-Cairo. Now should I push all to G12 first or just take them one by one to relics? Kairos are an issue for me. If Kairos are an issue for you, I mean, realistically, if we're talking about the raid, from a raid perspective, it makes more sense to level them up evenly so that you can make advantage of each of the new tiers that you can do, right? So it doesn't matter if 2 of them are at relics and 1 of them's at G11. You're not doing the G12 tier now, or you're not Jewing. Oh god, cancel me. You're not. Oh man. So you need to kind of bring them up evenly. I'm never gonna get over that. You need to kind of do them evenly in order to take advantage of each tier going up. That is how I would do it. And I actually am in a similar conundrum, but not Chirotech oriented. My guild has seen some turnover lately of people that we have kept in the guild way too long because we didn't want to deal with ROTE platoons. And it has meant that I have done a lot of shitty projects lately. So while I really wanted to take all of these guys to R7 or R8 immediately, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to take them past R5. And I know that's a different problem. But then I'm going to have to take them all to R7, then all to R8, just so that I can make use of each of the new tiers. Witcher 3. I actually played Witcher 3 on Game Pass during COVID. I enjoyed it. I hadn't played 1 or 2, but I did enjoy it. I liked it. I'm not a Witcher fanboy, but one of my favorite things about it was I don't have a lot of time to play games, and I enjoyed the fact that during the cutscenes, you could, like, skip the cutscene, like, in little tiny increments, so you could still get the conversations, and I could still understand what was going on in the story without watching these giant cutscenes and wasting my gameplay time. Finished last night, have a constant lack. Yeah, is medpacks the new Kyrotechs and stun guns? I think medpacks have always been a hurdle. But because Kyrotechs were worse, a lot of people just didn't notice them. And now that Kyrotechs are not as bad due to Zepho and due to Mandalore, people are just noticing the med packs that they didn't before. I buy them with any chance I can get. I buy med packs. Literally every single time. Med packs, just to kind of keep on top of it. I am in a unique position where I don't necessarily have to bring any of these characters up. But I obviously want to. So my medpack shortage is partially my own fault. But I assumed I had 2 more months, and I don't. Let's see. I was thinking along those lines, blah, blah, blah. What do we got here? Hey, Nana. Good morning. Afternoon, night. I think it's nighttime for you. Yeah, Womp Rat. I will probably end up raiding into you before I go see Karate Kid today. We have to get started on TB so that I don't get locked out. Our goal today, my stretch goal is to finally hit 44. But we might only be able to hit 43, which would still be a new, thing for us. This. There's like something in my dishwasher is on my egg cup. Now we're gonna get that off. There we go. So we're going to try, and I think 43 is a definite easy to do thing for us this morning. 44, I think is going to be very tough, but hopefully that will be a short-term goal. So let's knock some of this shit out of the way, shall we? We're at 15 minutes. Get our profundity in there. I had to take Veteran Chewy up to Relic 9 yesterday. Veteran fucking Chewy. It's my egg cup. It's my brunch cup. Of course, why wouldn't everything dodge? Oh, there we go. Alright, at least we got those 2 out of the way. Man, I have so many of them. My guild, my TB officer, my other TB officer, has banned me from helping with TB platoons on several occasions. But I just don't want to deal with asking other people, so when they come up, I go, I'll just fucking do it. I had done Veteran Chewy to R8 2 days ago, and then today I found out we needed him at R9, and someone else volunteered, but their Veteran Chewy was only R5, and I was like, it makes 0 sense for you to do it. I might as well just do it. It's 1 relic level instead of 4. So it's a whole thing. That one boy. Good morning, man. I'm fine. It's Sunday. Sunday is like, I've said this. Sunday's brunch is like therapy to me. I look forward to this all week. I get to talk to people who can't talk back to me. That's part of the joke. But I enjoy it. I like to chat with you guys and hang out and play a game that I clearly enjoy playing just a little bit too much. I did make sure that my egg cup was clean last night so that I could use it today. I checked. We got home from her parents' house. And I went into the dishwasher to make sure that the dishwasher was clean. But I think once I kill Scythe, I should be good to just run the rest of this on auto. There we go. We can talk back to you. You can type back to me. I've actually been thinking, you know, we typically have one brunch a month that is like nothing's going on in game. I've been thinking about inviting people on for that specific brunch each month. We might do that this month. We'll see what happens. To hang out and talk, so it's not as one-sided. But we do have some fun stuff coming up for the summer. I'm excited, especially with the raid. I am excited about being able to do more stuff and hearing from people. And, you know, with Naboo, when we did the Naboo stuff, I was so early in my content creation journey that I really didn't even know what I was doing. So I am excited to be able to kind of revisit that with Order 66 when I have the time to do it. Ugh. You're gonna get me singing, Womp Rat. And I will always love you. Don't want to wake up my wife. I know, Mythic. I'm very bipolar in that extent. It's weird because we've done guests on Brunch before. I had Black Hammer on once, who's a friend of mine, and it was fun to talk to him. But it's also, it does make Brunch harder when there are other people on, especially when you're doing things like roster reviews, because you're trying to do a roster review while also not alienating another person who you're talking to. So it's an extra layer that you have to think about. But I just like it. I just like talking to people. I do have something coming up this week I'm super excited about in that regard. Like super pumped with. But I don't want to jinx it or talk about it until it actually happens. We're going to kind of jump around. Okay, I've done what? 2.2. Technically, I need 5.7 in order to hit my guild average that we need to hit 44. But I don't think... there's a few people I don't think are going to hit that average, so I'm not really anticipating or expecting that. Oof, man. An easy battle, right? This should bring me up to 3.7. Yeah, man, I can hold a tune. Ish. I've learned that I can sing, but I have two problems. One, I can't sing fast, so fast songs I can't do. I just get tongue-tied. And two, I forget about 10% of the words to every song. which is like the classic dad thing where you know like almost every lyric, but not every lyric. How to train your Vanced. Oh god. We actually need to look into Vanced account today to see if he can do Smuggler's Run 2. I haven't been able to look the last couple of days because I've been waking up and having to do videos. I've been doing videos over the last couple of days, so I haven't had time. But I need to see if he's relicked his Jabba so we can get him Smuggler's Run 2. How to Train Your Vance. I'm excited for that movie. And we were going to go to see it today. But we have a lot to do today, so we're only doing one movie. And I really, really, really wanted to see Karate Kid before it left theaters. I actually... Daniel, did you post a picture of your completed tattoo? Because I didn't see it. I know you... I think you posted a picture of the line work a few weeks ago. I love tattoos, man. I would get like 30 more. They're just fucking expensive. I don't have tattoo money. I tried to convince my brother-in-law to get a tattoo with me yesterday, and my mother-in-law is like, oh, what do you want? And I was like, I don't even know, but that's not a problem for me. I will walk into a tattoo parlor, and I will figure it out right there. Right then and there, I'll be like, yes, we're doing this, as I've done on multiple occasions. I feel like I do need a Star Wars tattoo. I don't have any Star Wars tattoos. Has you been doing a stick and poke? I don't trust my own artistic ability to do something like that. So this is a crapshoot battle. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't on auto. I probably should manual it, considering, you know, considering I have an average that I supposedly should meet. So Xander, my thing is all of my tattoos are symbolic. And by symbolic, I don't mean they mean anything. I just mean, like, if you look at them all, there's... The only character I have is Mega Man, right? But it's done in a way that kind of looks like a symbol with the pixel art. But everything is like a symbol. I can't turn my hand to show this on the camera, right? Everything is like something along those lines. So I won't do, like, a Star Wars character. I would do... like an Imperial sign or a Rebel sign, but I also feel like both of those are so overdone that I wouldn't want to do either of them. Are you ready for tons of raid testing? Oh god. Yeah, I was talking to Pariah yesterday. He was reaching out and asking what my plans were, and I know Belloc and I did something last year. I'll actually pop it up in a second. Sheets. I know I did a video with this last week, but I'll just show it really briefly after this battle. A burning Wampa as a sign of dominance. Actually, no, that's... I'll have to look at what this the Gungan sign is in-game, because that's not a terrible idea. Alright, so I have, this is my old raid sheet from last year, and I've been repurposing it to the new raid. It's obviously not done because we don't have all of the information yet, but I've been working on building out the backlog of my beliefs for everything, so that I'm ready for it when the new raid comes out. And I will hopefully be working with the raid server in that regard to kind of like figure these things out for people and help people out. What was that? 3 million, 4 million, 4.7. So I think I'm going to hit this average. Mandalore open. Yeah, let's do that. I'll have to look at the Gungan one because that makes sense for me. Like, all my tattoos do make sense for me. We'll do a, wait, what is Womprat, or not Womprat, what is, Rabid Beaver always does those damathons with goals? We'll do a fundraiser with a tattoo goal. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna have mace, so I'm not gonna have any mace testing. And I had said to Pariah, you know, sitting there and testing the intricacies of every kit is not my thing. There are people who are much smarter at theory crafting than I am, and I don't want to step on the toes of the people who are better than me at that. My niche is the math. And being able to support the fact that, hey, you can get to certain numbers, even if you don't think you can get to those certain numbers. So it's the niche I intend to fill within the raid. Mythic, where am I getting the guild numbers? It's just a breakdown of what your goal is for the guild versus... Oh, am I going to lose Leia again? I lost Leia last time. It's just the raid goal divided by 50. So it's not like some major crazy number or anything. It's just to kind of show, you know, I did a video last week that kind of showed, in theory, based on what we can expect, that a lot of the guilds that are like, we're not going to be able to do anything, will actually be able to hit, you know, box 6, seemingly not very with that much difficulty. But we'll see. We're going to see in 2 weeks. We'll find out when the raid actually comes. And my niche will be relying on the testers and compiling that and working with them with permission to be able to say, hey, yes, this will work for you, or hey, yes, no, this won't work for you, or hey, this Zeta is going to be needed, or no, this Zeta is not going to be needed. You're not going to have to worry about that. Mandalore. It's usually, sometimes this goes 2 for 2, sometimes this goes for 1 for 2. I've basically hit my average anyway for what I need, so I'm not too worried. Willow away. We don't need no Best Buy shit. There we go. There's a strange catharsis in doing all of these battles super easy. You know what's interesting, Xander, is I expected Phil to hate this raid, and the night that the raid information came out, Phil, Logan, Avant, Kate, and Bones to some extent, we were all talking, and of course, Bones hated everything. But Phil and I were in like full agreement. And I had even said to him before doing my video, I was like, people have to listen to me, because if you and me agree, we never agree. It's so very rare that Phil and I are on the same page. So if you're agreeing it's not as bad as it seems, you know, then people have to be like, oh, actually. All right, let's check him out while this video is running. I'll check it out. Obviously not everybody else. Oh, dude. Oh, shit, that's sick, man. That's some wild shit. And that's gonna appeal like a motherfucker, so I can imagine this morning that you are like... that you are, like you said earlier, like straight up just molting. No, it doesn't make me think that I'm taking the bad stance, because normally Phil takes the angry stance, right? His bad take is usually the stance that that is like, I'm angry about things. And my stance is usually more measured, so I'm quite surprised that his stance is more measured with me. You know, it depends on your guild. When people ask me, like, oh, what should I do? Like, it really... The best thing you can do is talk to your guild about expectations. I have set very clear expectations with my guild about what we are doing and what we expect and our timelines for those things. And obviously those timelines might change once the raid comes out and we have more information. But we set a very clear standard of this is our plan, and we expect you to adhere to that plan. For my guild, I mean, my plan is Jedi Master Mace Windu 2nd run. I don't have $300 to drop on 2 marquees. You know, so I'm not getting him 1st run. But I think I can do enough in the interim to still keep up to my guild averages. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Xander, if you watched the video that I did a few days ago, but what I have been noticing around this raid is that the majority, not everybody, but the majority of the people complaining, you know, are the people that just don't want to do anything. It's not the free-to-plays, it's not the whales. Obviously, there are some whales complaining because of the pirates thing. There are some free-to-plays playing because they feel left behind. But the majority of the complaints I've heard are from people that just don't want to invest in the raid, and they just wanted things handed to them. You know, it's Bad Batch has been a known entity for essentially 2 to 3 months now, and if you didn't even start farming them, it's kind of on you, especially with these bonus drops. And I haven't been posting on Reddit lately. It's been about 2 weeks since I've posted on Reddit, but I still read it a little bit. And I saw so many people over the last couple days, like, complaining about the bonus drops. They're like, we don't care. LOL, these bonus drops, like, I'm just gonna ignore them. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, these bonus drops are insane right now. Like, super insane. Nena, if your guild has low expectations, you know, you probably don't need Jedi Vanguard and Pirates. You can probably get away with clones and New Bad Batch. Because if one of those teams is R9, and one of those teams is R7, and then you have an old Vanguard team, you're looking at like 7 million right there anyway. Which is not a bad score at all. I didn't wear blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. I come from a different background of doing things from other people, presumably, because I'm annoyed. I am annoyed. Not, I mean, I understand if you have a legitimate complaint and you break it down with legitimate reasoning, I respect you fully. But I'm just so annoyed with people that aren't able to do that and who are just bitching. All right, we're gonna try Tarkin here. I tried last week and got completely obliterated. I would love to R9 Lord Vader. I just don't have the relic material now because I've done so many projects. But I did get the Apocron, so maybe this will work. I doubt it, but maybe. I think you're going to be well beyond what you need, Nena. It did like jack shit damage. Damn. These fuckers. Like, if I can just get one of two, I'll be fucking happy with this team. It's not gonna fucking happen. I could see Lord Vader doing this super easy just because of being able to stack all these dots while you're just, like, hitting this box. But I am so very disappointed in the Tarkin team with the Omicron. Like, it does jack shit. You would think it would do better, but it doesn't. Okay, well, what a waste. Jabba. We just want dark side guys on this team. Go. Yeah, because I don't have an R9 team there. This is that fun, super long, super boring battle. This is Vandor, which doesn't seem to be the hardest planet in the world. But for, like, Tarkin clones kind of sucks. This mission really isn't that hard. It's just long and annoying. Because you're hitting this box over and over again. I have heard that even if you take a whole Hut Cartel team in here, that it like doesn't get any better. You just have to throw these thermals over and over again. Yeah. It is what it is. Hey, Mystery. Good morning. Welcome to Brunch. The most exciting part of Brunch. We just sit and watch me hit a box over and over again. So the mechanic with the box is that you get dots every turn, and you can only heal by hitting the box. So the whole idea is that if you just auto basic with Jabba, he gets like protection up, and when he gets protection up, he doesn't take damage. And then you just throw thermals, and the enemy team ends up just dying to thermals. In the second wave, we're going to do something similar, except we are going to eat enemies in wave 2. Which seems to work better. It was, yes. It was a super annoying mechanic for bosses in Conquest, but it is kind of what trained us how to do this one. There we go, CV. One day we'll be able to auto these battles, and we'll laugh, and we'll go, ah. I mean, if you count turns, it's not bad, because you can do auto basic and then, like, watch for a little while. But it is seemingly very, very annoying. Because, like, I can't even kill this guy, since Jabba does no damage, without having to use my thermals, which is really annoying. There we go. Okay, so the whole goal here is we are going to just eat enemies and auto basic otherwise. So we can keep his ult meter up. That seemed to work for us last time. So hopefully it works for us this time. Well, Kessel, I just hit auto. If you have a regular cartel team, you can just hit auto on Kessel, and it'll work just fine. It's not a hard battle. But obviously, sitting here watching mastery or ult charge go up is not the most exciting thing in the world. Will Jedi Master Mace be viable with Jocasta Nu? I mean, that's exactly what they wanted from this, is they wanted Jedi Master Mace to be, or Jocasta Nu to be the lifter for Jedi Master Mace Windu. So yeah, I mean, that's gonna be part of the team. Hands down, like no questions asked at all. So if you have been sleeping on that, you got to get on top of that. If you are getting, without, I mean, I think it's gonna be viable, but I think when they release a lifter team, a lifter character before a character even comes out, you get put in this weird position where, like, the whole of the kit is designed around that character. And we saw that happen with Ahsoka, right? Ahsoka hits like a wet fucking noodle when Ezra's not in the team, which sucks. It's a super, super underwhelming team without Hezra. And I don't think Mace Windu will be useless without her, but I definitely think you're going to lose a lot of viability. Did he just say tuna? At least as it goes faster as you eat them because you get more turns, which is nice. Because they crush. Again, Nana, you know, I don't really watch other videos. So I'm not aware of Calvin's video on Lumen. I mean, I'm aware that it happened. I know I've heard people reference it. I haven't watched it. I don't know anything about it. I know that there has been a lot of theory crafting about Luminara's Omicron for that team and it finally being useful. Such a weird Omicron where, like, in theory, it seems like it's good. But, like, there's not a single team that she can really go on and make use of it. Oh, by the way, I guess I should tell you guys, I found out about this after doing my valuation video yesterday, but anyone who is interested in buying that Relic Catch or the Zeta thing or the Omicron thing, apparently Meathead did give everybody a promo code to take $10 off of it. I think it's No, I Am Not Your Father. I put it in the description of the video. But anyone who is thinking of buying that from the web store, make sure to get your $10 off. All right, one-on-one. Yeah, and some people just got it for the sake of getting it. And I'm sure they've never used the Omicron because there's no reason to use the Omicron. And it just sucks all around for everybody involved. All right. There we go. I think I hit my guild average. I think I hit what I need to hit. Right, so I needed 5.7. And this is 1.5. 3. Oh, let's get the other one. So 3, then 4. And then 5 is these two battles. And then 5.7 here. And then that battle, so 5.7, so 6.4. All right, so I've done 6.4. And then there is my favorite little shit show battle that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. We try it every time. Just on a hope and a prayer, really. Let's see if it'll work this time. Ooh, maybe it's gonna work. Everybody's still alive. It's been a while since I've gotten this to work. Honestly, if I can even get one extra wave out of this, that would be really nice. Just one. Just the one would be super, super swell. Oh, I probably should defeat this guy, huh? Oh well. Should pay attention to those informant things. Okay, now I can do it. Jedi's Will increase. Is that what I got? Jedi's Will and Legendary Battle on? Okay. I knew that those things existed. But I guess I've never really prioritized them because... Well, because I either won or lost based on luck. Don't really want to use that yet. We're going to take a risk here because I really want to open up the next battle on an easier note. Okay, good. All right. I got one wave, which, I mean, I'm happy about one wave. If I get two, that would be great also, but I will take one wave. Buffs for your team. Nice. Good. All right. I think we're going to get this one. And then we're done with TB, and I've done everything that I can to carry my guild. And then I can go read chat again. Because I'm actually concentrating for one time in my life. Very, very rare. Rare concentration. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, Mystery, if you get it, make sure to use the promo code. It makes it so much better in terms of ROI. It basically makes it the highest ROI pack in the game if you get the promo code, which is, you know, insane. So I would definitely do that. After doing all of the relics for my guild, I kind of want to get it too, just because I could use those relic materials. Let's take a look at where my guild is. 234 undeployed GP left. I just want to do some quick math, not meth, as I alluded to in that video. 639, so I need 91 there. Plus 620 minus 497, so 214 total. Plus 396 minus 379. So we need 231 total to hit the first stretch goal. We have 234. So that stretch goal is nice. Plus 110 minus 234. We still need 107 if we want to if we want to get to 44, which is probably seemingly unlikely. Okay, good. Nobody did anything here. Let's check these out. I need how much here? I need less than I need about 90 there. So I can increase this goal to about 6 without a problem. Without there being any issues. How did we do? Leaderboards. Completed waves. Did 110 without phase 1. I don't do phase 1, which is 25. So 135 waves is not bad if we think about the idea of phase 1 being in there. Yes, so Mystery, it does allow you to use the promo code more than once, but only on those big packs. I know some people who bought all of them and used the promo code on all of them. Absolutely take, oh god, I hate that word. Take advantage of that. I think it was on purpose, but still take advantage of it if you are in a position to do so and want to do so. Med packs, no med packs, gross. Only one joke on the family. I was cuddling with my wife when she said, treat me like I'm a queen, so I married her off to our neighbor to strengthen our political alliance. I liked the one you gave me yesterday too, Hot Hod. That was a fun one. All right, we have Conquest, right? Conquest is, I've actually basically finished Conquest. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and I will be right back. We'll get through Conquest. We'll get through roster reviews for the day. If you have any questions, post them now in chat, things that you want to talk about, and we can go through that first before Conquest. But I'll be back in about, I'd say like a minute and a half. We are back. What is the promo code? We can pull it up. I'll show it to you. Well, I don't need to pull it up, but I put it in the description of my video on the pack. So I'll grab that for you while this is reloading, since I had to run the bot while I was in the bathroom. The web store promo code, yep, and I see Mythic kind of beat me to it as well, right there. All right, what else? How's Vance's account looking? It's looking better. Well, again, we won't. I mean, I guess we could pop it on Discord, right? Let's pop on Discord real quick. We'll go over to my bot commands. This is from a few days ago. So let's do mod score, ally code. Remember, his mod score was 0.94 when we started. His Omega mod score was 0.94. It's now 1.42. So we are getting there. We are slowly getting Vance's account to be useful. Should my guild consider going up efforts? Nena, I think that any guild, depending on where your guild is, every guild should really try to increase their box by at least one every raid. As a minimum, at least one every raid. And if you're really smart about it, it's something you definitely can do fairly easily. But you need a guild where people are willing to work on guild projects. I've said this, I've released messages several times to my guild over the last 3 months with expectations. And those expectations were, hey, within the first 3 to 4 raids, we are back to our old box, which was the 270 box. And then within 3 months, we're at the next raid box. Right? So we're kind of like building that expectation of this is where we're at. This is our timeline or our roadmap to get to the next thing. It is so important that you have a competent officer corps that is willing to communicate. I did those 2 officer videos, right, a long time ago, and people still, they're some of my most popular videos in terms of like what people look at, and it's because a lot of people, they don't know how to be an officer. They just want power, and they're trying to learn. But open communication with your guild on expectations from the start. Like when I recruit people, I don't lie to them. I tell them exactly what to expect. I tell them exactly what I'm doing. I tell them exactly what's going to get them booted if they get booted, so that they know when they come in and I don't feel bad if something happens. Right? And I'd rather someone be like, no, this is not a good fit for me, than bring someone in and have to replace them 3 months later. But to answer in a roundabout way your question, I think any guild should, at a bare minimum, be trying to increase the raid box by at least 1 with every single raid. How do you tell who gets priority for a given mod? What sort of criteria do you look at? I'm not the, Captain Amazing is really the mod guy, and I defer to him. I do have a set of filters. I did a video on my filters that I use. And these are filters that I, came up with myself. And that kind of filters out any mod that I think is just unusable for me. At that point, I work on one team at a time. Right now, I have mostly finished my clones, because I needed my clones to be viable. So they're mostly finished. I'm looking for a better speed mod here for Oppo. I haven't found a good one for him. I am looking for a protection one here for Scorch. I haven't found a good one there. But for the most part, I'm on to Bad Batch. And I'm very strongly focused on finding mods that are going to be useful for them. If I happen to get a mod that is really good, but is not good for my current need, so I'll show you as an example how I do this. I will go to speed check, so it filters this out. So like this defense mod, right? Which is a square. If I wanted to place this defense mod right now, I keep in mind this. I go outside of only unassigned mods. I go to defense mods. Filter by speed. I really only want to see squares right now. And I just go down the list and I go, oh, hey, are any of these guys people who I would benefit, right? Like, I don't give a shit if Stormtrooper is a little faster. I don't give a shit if Obi-Wan is a little bit faster. If there is a character that I think will seemingly benefit, then I'll just trade that mod out. I don't particularly heavy focus remodding my roster. I don't like doing it. It's like my Rey is very old school modded. I know everyone has her offense modded now. Mine is very, very old school modded because I don't go back unless it's just one mod at a time. But the best answer is really I'm looking at a specific team at any one time. Well, that's the other thing, Death May Cry, and we're finding now within my guild. I actually had a conversation with a guild member this morning. We were talking about how in the light side territory battles days, we would replace people constantly. You know, if you missed tickets 3 times for no reason, you were gone. And when Rise of the Empire came out, we stopped doing that because you had to keep relicing characters, and we didn't want to lose platoons. But now that relicing characters is not as terrible a proposition, we have gotten back to replacing those people who are not committed and who are just coasting. So I've had a lot of turnover lately as we're getting out of the habit of complacency. And a lot of people that were like, you know, you've ridden our coattails for 1.5 years, 2 years now. We need you gone because we've given you plenty of chances and plenty of communication opportunities to do better. And it's not fair to everybody else. So we've had a lot of turnover for that. And we might even be replacing 1 or 2 guys in this next week coming up again, which sucks because it sets you behind a little bit in terms of your platoons at R8 and R9, but it has to be done. You have to cut out the weeds is really what it is. We're going to move into Conquest. We can keep talking during Conquest because I am basically done. I only have 15 that I have to do left, and that's this. So I am in a position where I'm not really worried about Conquest at this point, so we're just going to be running battles on auto. You know, during a normal day, starting tomorrow, I'm going to be simming them. Because who wants to run battles on auto if you don't need to? But during brunch, we run them on auto so that I can keep talking to you guys and have an excuse to keep talking to you guys. That's the whole thing, Death May Cry. You know, like 2 years ago, losing an R6 platoon sucked. You know, it wasn't insurmountable to redo, but nobody wanted to do like a Jawa at R6. But now our guild is in a position where that's like not a disgusting ask of somebody. So we don't, and everybody has almost everything at like R5. So we're cracking down. We've gotten rid of like 4 people in the last month. I try to stay out of removals. I try to not be part of the removal process. It's hard for me to be part of the removal process because I do have a public persona. And a lot of the people I bring in are people through that public persona. Thankfully, none of those people have yet to be talked to. But I do make it clear to everybody, like, you know, if you get removed, it's on you. It's not on me. %, trembliness. I don't want to say absolutely, but 100%. You know, we had complacency out of need. And now we're saying that need is no longer there. So we're doing what we got to do. And the guild's core of really active players are seeing that, and they're happy to step up and say, you know what? Yeah, I'll R8 this. Yeah, I'll R9 this. It'll help us as a group. We have a great core of players. You know, it's just a few people who were great at one time, and they're just now more casual, and that's completely fine too. But they just, you know, they don't want to accept that the guild climate is no longer an appropriate climate for them. We mutually got rid of somebody last week. I say mutually because we had a discussion. I did not bring up removing them, and they decided that they should leave on their own. But their analogy was, which I found very funny, is they were like, no, like, I get it. I think it's best that we part ways because just like that girlfriend you have that you never intend on marrying, it's better to just cut ties so that you can find the right person. I found it to be a very funny analogy, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, yes, that's exactly what's going on here. Just a mismatch in priorities, and you find the guild that matches your priorities, and we'll find the guild mate that matches our priorities. Ugh. 40? All right. I don't remember what the big milestones are. I can never remember the big milestones. I don't think it's at 40. It might be at 41. Maybe it is 40 to get the second R9 material. Getting the second R9 material is very, very nice. And I had this conversation with my guild last night when they were talking, when I did my R9 veteran Chewbacca, and they were talking about how hard it is to get droid brains and keypads, and I was saying, like, I don't actually feel any stress on my droid brains or keypads. I feel it more on my R6 and R7 materials than I do on my R9 materials, because I am getting those things fast enough at this point where by the time I need to do something, I have the materials to do it. You know what materials I don't have the need to do are med packs again. One thing I will say to officers, because I only play one mobile game at a time, like, seriously, but every once in a while I will play another mobile game for a short amount of time just to kind of, like, get it out of my system. And one mistake that I see a lot of guild officers make, maybe not necessarily in this game, but in a lot of games, is even if you have 15 people coasting, do not boot all 15 people. It's like the dumbest mistake you can make. Remove 1 to 2 people at a time. Fix one problem, right? Isolate 15 problems, fix one problem at a time. It's so much better of a move to do things that way. Because it's so much harder to convince people to join a guild when there's 35 people in it, not 49 people in it. Not saying that people do that here, but it is a mistake that I have seen happen quite often in other games. And you know, when you look for like-minded people, sometimes those like-minded people, they change over time. Everybody that I'm the recruiter for my guild. Every person I've ever recruited has been like-minded to us. But 2 years go by and their priorities change. Oh, I don't like this team. They suck at this. We're gonna change this team out. And it's fine. It's just understanding, all right, your priorities changed. Our priorities changed. We're gonna move on now. Yes, I do not boot people before I have a replacement unless they are actually actively a problem. It is very rare that somebody is actively antagonistic. I've had it happen once or twice, and in those cases, we will just bring in a platoon alt. But for the most part, I already have a replacement on hand when I'm removing somebody. It's really it's the only way to do it correctly. Oh, these Gungans. I love them. It does suck when people retire. You know, guilds become a family. I don't talk to everybody in my guild often, but there are people in my guild that I talk to often. My guild leader and I, like, he calls me like once a week. We set a meeting time, and he'll generally call me on my commute home from work, and we'll chat. There are definitely like 10 to 15 guys in my guild that I would go have a beer with. And it sucks when that dynamic changes or people want to leave the game. It is what it is. It's a game, and you know, I've had it happen so many times over the years that you just kind of get it. I grew up in the massive multiplayer era, you know, starting with Star Wars Galaxies, into World of Warcraft, into EverQuest 2, into the Old Republic, the Warhammer 1, Age of Reckoning. I've played so many of these MMOs where you play for a long time and you get to know people on voice chat, on Ventrilo, on TeamSpeak, and then they're just not part of your life anymore. That it doesn't affect me as much anymore because it's something I'm used to. But at like 24, I literally quit World of Warcraft specifically because my guild broke up. And I was just like, well, this sucks. All the people I play with are no longer the people that I play with. Adis, man, I agree with you. I played the transition period when, what was it called? Something of Obi-Wan, Trials of Obi-Wan came out or whatever. And they just made it WoW-like. I fucking loved Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But it was the Wild West of, it was an interesting time because it was the Wild West of MMOs. Star Wars Galaxies was a relatively successful MMO with like 300,000 people playing. But WoW blew that shit out of the water with like 6.5 million in the first 6 weeks. That was unheard of. So every MMO wanted to be more like WoW. It's a shame. I really did love that game. I loved when I had my Jedi character. I loved being chased by bounty hunters. I remember me and my guildmate, his name was Water. We would log in at 3 in the morning to level up our Jedis on Dathomir. Because you didn't want to get caught by bounty hunters. And I remember one morning, a bounty hunter took a contract out on one of us. And they chased us around on Dathomir for like an hour. We had to go back and forth between the towns to like time the shuttles. It was like a super frustrating and stressful time, but it was also super fun. I don't think Jedi ruined the game. I think a couple things ruined the game. Jedi were always in the game, but no one knew how to get them. There was very specific ways to get them. And then once everyone figured it out and there were more Jedi, they kind of changed the game dynamics around. There was the, they had 2 different combat mechanic updates, the CU, the combat update, and then there was like a CU 2.0. I don't remember what the new game engine they called it, the second one, and those completely shifted the game, and made it so very uninteresting. Adis, you know what? The funny thing is, after I retired my Jedi, I became a weaponsmith too. And it was fun. Like, I have not found a game that had a crafting system anywhere near what Star Wars Galaxies did. People who did not play Star Wars Galaxies cannot fathom weapon crafting or crafting in that game. Before I quit playing the game for about a year, I was a weaponsmith. And you could spend 4 hours a day weaponsmithing. And it was just, it was fun. It was such an incredible system that no other game has. Like, I am so spoiled by it that when I play a game with crafting, I go, oh, it's fine, but it's not Star Wars Galaxies. And I used to do just like you. I did high-end, I focused on high-end custom weapons. It was so like, there was, I can't even explain. Like, let's say I wanted to build a vibro sword, right? For those of you that don't understand, if I wanted to build a vibro sword, you could build it out of one of like 10 different metals. But every single metal had like 10 different stats on it. And every week, the resources on your server would change. So the steel you got one week may be completely different from the steel you got the next week. And you would be on the Star Wars Galaxies forum being like, hey, does anyone have steel from July 3rd, 2004? I'll buy steel from July 3rd, 2004 for 10 credits per unit. Because I really need that to make the best swords right now. And that, like, it was just so insane. I had a whole little shop with like 5 buildings, and all of my buildings were warehouses that housed different metals and different gases and different polymers, and they were broken down and like sectioned out based on the stats. It was such a crazy time. My name is actually from Star Wars Galaxies also. I was 13. You needed a first name and a last name. And I just strung together vowels, and I came up with the name Egnar Atop. And Egnar Atop was my name for many years. But I would use Egnar only in most games because Egnar Atop as one word didn't make sense. And then accounts started needing 8 letters or 7 letters, whatever it was. And so I started using Egnards more. Actually, I was on Tarkinus, and I don't know if you remember this. You might not have known this, but Tarkinus, as an example, you needed a very specific metal to make T-21 rifles. My server, that specific metal did not spawn for a year and a half. So for a year and a half, there were no T-21 rifles on my server because that metal just did not spawn ever at all. And when it finally did spawn for us, it was like this crazy thing where everyone was like blowing up over it. It was like this super solid excitement. I think one of the major downfalls of that game, though, was that they did not give us enough to do, and they basically relied too heavily on players make the content. And, you know, they did have some tools where devs would like spawn things for special events and help you out, and you were like, oh, you want to spawn this war event, we'll help you. But they didn't provide enough tools for that. So it did become slightly boring over time. Because there wasn't much to do. You know, there's only so many times you could run that stupid Corvette mission. But the player-driven economy was solid. I miss that so much. You know, even the Geonosis raid, when the Geonosis raid came out, you could just spawn outside the Acolytes building. And by that time, certain what would you call it, builds of characters could just solo the boss. I remember early days where you would take a squad leader and 20 people, and you would go to the Tuscan hideout just to level up, and like 2 squads of 40 people would be in there, but you could still lose and get wiped because like it was hard and no one knew what they were doing. It was so much fun. I really miss the game, and people tell me about Star Wars Galaxy Emo, and they're like, oh, you could do that. I don't have the time to invest in an MMO anymore. I didn't play Eve. I'm very, very well aware of Eve. I never played it. I know that it's very player-driven. I know that, like, battles have happened where thousands upon thousands of dollars in materials were lost. And it's very, like, a very political game. I used to play a text-based sort of version of it called O-Game, which is, like, a very early game, a very early city builder before apps. So it was really tough before like before mobile phones had like internet. Having to play a city builder where you had to like time things around when you're home. All early memories from like I think back and I'm like, man, I'd love to do that again. But then I go, oh, I don't have the time or the energy. It was fun when I had that time. But making the time for that is just not something I would be excited for now. Those were the days, though. Man, nostalgia. Oh, God. I actually think Star Wars Galaxies would work now. I posted on Reddit about it like 2 years ago. But if you shifted it from big server into small server survival game, I think it could definitely work in that space. Yeah, I think if I played a game like Star Wars Galaxies again, or like any MMO, my wife would leave me because I am somebody that needs to play things at a very high level. Which is why I often play other mobile games, and then I quit those mobile games because I go, okay, I'm getting too invested in this. I need to step away. I'm spending too much time. All right, let's see. My Datacrons, what do we got here? Health steal. I'm really hoping I don't. I'm really hoping I get a dark side clone and I don't get fucked. 5s, of course. Right? Why would I get a light side clone or a dark side clone? I don't really want 5s. But I don't have any reroll material. And don't want to spend crystals on reroll material. I knew that was going to happen. We'll have to just hope that I get dark side allies. Alright. That I either get reroll material or... Because I don't mind the 5-1, but... Mandalorian. I don't want Mandalorians right now. I want fucking clones. All Mandalorians. Oh, come on. Oh, reduce their cooldowns. Which of these two is better? Did anyone watch all of those videos? On Datacrons? Because I'm feeling reducing cooldowns is nice, but I also feel like this might hurt more. Yeah, Daniel, I can't. I just like, you know, you see me in this game. I'm like, oh, I gotta be not the best, but I have to be efficient. I have to spend my time. I have to focus. I just cannot put down and say no. I'm not gonna do something at a high level. Turn meter, you think? Anybody else? I hear two say the middle one. Is there a stacking offense for the middle one? Okay, well, this is what I have, and I don't want to reset it again. I really just want a dark side clone one, which I don't think I'll be able to. Ugh, you fucking kidding me with this shit? Fine. I don't fucking need ally points. If I get another light side clone, I swear to fuck you. I hate this fucking game sometimes. Come on. Like, why do you have to fucking do me like that? Piece of shit game. Hate this fucking game. Oh, they're like, no, you cannot have a dark side clone. Why? Why would we give you a dark side clone? Let's see, can I get a light side one? I mean, I know I have plenty of time. I have a week, but like, still fucking annoying. Why am I only getting dark side ones? Come on. What the fuck? This fucking game. I don't even have the low one. I have to fucking do that tomorrow. I really hate this shit. Like, why? Oh, God. I was like, there's no way. There's no way I'm gonna get two of those in a row, right? Why would they give me two of those in a row? I'm hoping we lost our last TW, so maybe we'll get a good matchup for this TW, and I'll be able to get enough of that stuff. Before I get out of my account, we're just gonna double check if I have to change goals here. What do we have? 180 left. Gonna need about getting there up here, which is nice. We can do about let's say 630, right? 550 plus 80. 550 plus 70, actually, let's do 70. Let's do 620. I buy the episode pass sometimes. I'm a fucking teacher. I have a dojo that, like, I try not to overcharge people, so I don't make a ton of money from it. So and I have a mortgage. So, like, I can't spend $20 a month on the game. I could, but it's just not worth it to me. Which is why I've said I need a Swugga Daddy who just buys me the pass every month, because I can't. I buy it like once a quarter. I'll buy the episode pass. If I worked a corporate job, I probably would spend more money on this game, but I typically average about $10 a month. And that $10 a month might be that I don't spend at all for 4 months, and then I buy a $50 pack. Okay. All right. Well, that's my conquest for the day, and I guess what we should do here is we should check in on Vance's account, because why not, right? Let's see if we can get that smuggler's run done for him. So I am going to hit the fun little ads button while I set that up so that I make 20 cents while nothing is going on. I promise you nothing interesting will be going on during this time, so don't get mad about it. Okay. So we are here. We're on Vance's account. He hasn't logged in for the day. We could have a discussion on mobile game survival, but I mean, I feel like I've beaten that one to like a dead horse. It definitely is more middle income now than it was before, you know, because we talk about like whale economy and how it's very different. God, advanced, my man, like these free ascensions. Get the free ascensions, dude. Like they're free. Holy crap! I think there's one more. Is the only? Yeah, there's 2 things in this. Oh, because of the slicer bundle. God, this fucker. Cantina battles. He still doesn't have Jabba. I don't know if Jabba can do. I don't know if Jabba can do Smuggler's Run without relics. Especially with the mods he's gonna have. I think he missed the free Conquest one. Because he doesn't really even do his Conquest. You know, I think that that's also changing to some. Why? Oh, okay. This is Pez. I think that that's also changing to some extent. You know, as mobile games are becoming more sophisticated than they were. Less people are saying that. I tend to not care what other people say. If people call me not a true gamer, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell them like, yeah, you're probably right. I used to play tons and tons and tons of games. I don't anymore, and if it doesn't make me a true gamer anymore, then that's fine. I'm not bothered by it. I'm not dealing with it. Again, I would never do that on my account, but he needs it that much. God. So help me. Getting close on his account to having a 7-star executor, which is really, really, really nice. We will not buy mods today. We will do this to get him some shards of characters that he does not really need. I bet he has not been taking advantage of this at all, which really hurts my very soul. Oh, I did. You're right. I missed this. Thank you. But again, like he doesn't even. God, he's on Sector 2. How are you on Sector 2? Whatever. It is brunch content. Defense up. I can't do any of these things on his account, so we're just gonna do the battles. Like, if he's not gonna do them, then we are just gonna do the battles as battles. Sure. I don't touch grass for shit. Made you some content. Daddy made you some content. We're just gonna try to get him under max. I'm not sitting here doing his whole conquest for him. It's not gonna happen. We're just gonna get him to the point where he's actually gaining energy again. There we go. His grass and AI texture. I fucking wish, because you know what I hate doing? I hate mowing the lawn, and I have the worst lawn. My lawn is the one, of course, that has like water lines and tree roots and the fire hydrant. So I can't even just go in straight lines, and there's a whole drop in the back of my backyard. Then I walk and I see my neighbors' yards, and I'm like, wow, this would be so easy to mow comparatively. Why can't I have this yard? What's his mall's LV team comp? I literally have no idea. I'm assuming what I'm using. But LV's team comp outside of the new stuff is... Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant advanced team comp. Here's the thing with LV. If you're talking about old LV, which is what you are, LV is a slow ramping character that heavily focuses on relic levels. So really what you want with him, other than Conquest Mall, is your highest relic leveled Empire teams. And preferably at least 2 of them are tanks. Because you want the enemy team to very slowly get through the tanks while you ramp up mastery. So that even if it's just LV left in the end, he's so ramped that he does insane amount of damage. That's basically the goal of LV. Hey, Caleb. Oh, dude. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I will. I see when people send me money specifically for a pack, I do see that as a contract. So I will buy myself the pack. I will buy the episode pass, and I appreciate that, so thank you. As far as roster reviews, are you on my Discord? Because we do it all through Discord. I'll send you the link. Hold on. And I don't have that many to do today, so if you post something today, I almost definitely will be able to get to it. because I only have 2 of them that I need to get through other than today. But I do ask questions just because it helps me to learn an account a little bit better and the person behind the account a little bit better. All right, let's see. Vance actually messaged me yesterday after my last video on his account. And he was like, by the way, you're allowed to start using all of my resources again. I was like, good, because I use them better than you. Oh my god, this guy. Look at him, he's almost how are you almost capped on shit? Just buy shit. Just buy, you need it all, Vance. I don't know if you watch Brunch, Vance, but you fucking need it all, man. Like, seriously. Buy everything. None of this will go to waste on your account. I cannot even fathom being almost capped on some of this stuff. We do want to buy credits, because he always needs credits. If I'm going to keep getting his mods better. Trembliness, man, I appreciate it. I know, I stream at weird times because I try not to let it, affect my home life. So I stream before my wife, gets up for the morning. She's actually on a business trip next week, so I will likely be doing some nighttime stuff, which would be daytime stuff for you, presumably. Just buy this shit, man. Just, I don't even care. Any good mod? Okay. All right, we'll take that. Yes, get the data. Right, like I don't want this to cap, man. I don't want that to cap at all. Egnards after dark. I get, at night, things get a little bit weird here because then I pop onto a stream and I go, okay, I'm not going to drink tonight. And then I go, nope, the whiskey's coming out tonight. And then I drink a little bit too much whiskey. And then things get weird. All right, we're gonna try to do Smuggler's Run 2, but as we've seen, his roster is interesting. Oh, he doesn't even have 5 fucking characters for this. We can't even. Oh my god, advanced. How? How do you not have 5 fucking characters for this? Oh, because he's not Relic 3 yet. Okay, so we can't even do it because he doesn't. God. Oh, okay. God. I was so excited. I forgot about the Relic 3 thing. This stupid, stupid, stupid guy. This stupid man. We'll get it by next time, though. Alright. I guess, will pop back in on my account. We will pop on my account real quick. Keep me signed in. We don't want to lose the contract, and we're going to have to buy this episode pass. How viable is LV with just 5-star clones? I mean, the thing with LV is that he needs relic levels to ramp. So I don't really know. I don't really think he's going to be very viable with just 5 stars on those guys, because he's not going to be able to ramp with that. How early do I get up? So I get up at 5:45 every morning, and that's not to stream. That's just when I get up. This morning, I actually got up at 4:30. My body just woke me up. I'm an early morning person. That's why this works, because my wife is not an early morning person, and I am. So I get up and I do the things that I was going to do anyway. I know some people, they get up early for work, and then on the weekends they sleep in. It doesn't make sense for me to do that. I personally am just like, I would much rather just keep my schedule consistent. Let me see in here on the web store. Is this episode pass on the web store yet? Episode pass is, because I feel like the coaxium is probably more important to me than the 5%, discount, right? Like, that just seemingly makes more sense to me than saving $1. So I'm gonna buy it on my phone while you guys all sit there and watch. Oh, I saved my payment stuff. Okay, you do that. Hey now, sure. Your purchase is complete. And I get all this coaxium. Kessel Run. Ooh, my goodness. Look at all this. Got some crystals. I wish it would tell you how many crystals that you got for doing that, because it doesn't, and that's kind of annoying. $20K points. All right, let's reload the game. Hey, Gustav. Who isn't he, if I remember correctly, the Ratatouille bad guy? I have heard that D-Ray-Kron is going to be a monster on defense, personally. My personal belief with Focus Datacrons, I bought the D-Ray-Kron too, but I don't have it leveled up all the way yet, is on offense, it is a maximum of 1 team that you're defeating. On defense, it is a potential unlimited amount of teams. So I typically end up putting my best crons on defense, specifically for that reason. God, look at this. Mystery, man. I gotta thank you again, dude, because I will never say no to getting this episode pass. I am gonna have to reset my spending, my days without spending, though. Let's go over here. Well, this, I mean, I might as well get the fucking Hermit Yodacron now. What else looks good? I am going to max shit, so I have to spend some of the shit. Honestly, Mystery, that's my whole project, is like, hey guys, I try to give as much information out for free, but like, if I save you $100, like, buy me a single beer every once in a while. So I do appreciate very greatly when people see that value and understand that value and say, yeah, no, that makes sense. Alright, there's nothing else that looks like it is going to be useful short run. What is this? Why did that light up again? Well, since we're over here, I'm going to check TB one more time, and then we're going to go into roster reviews. Not seem like too much has happened. Still 171 left. It's still early. This should close up on its own. I shouldn't have to worry about this. Let me just double check. Has anyone posted about it? Last time I did a bot action was at 8. Let me run a bot action. Notify true. Yes, and then we'll close down the game. All right, and we will go over to our roster reviews. We'll pop Discord over, and I think Mystery, I don't know if you found this area okay or not, but we'll pop on over here to ConWarlock. Before we do that, I don't even remember what time I wrote for Vance, so it doesn't matter. I am going to just step out one more time to turn this coffee into either more coffee or into some water. So I will be back in just a second once that is done, so that I am properly caffeinated / hydrated to be able to talk very quickly for the next hour or so. All right. Sorry that took a little longer than I expected. I got hungry too, so I ate a protein bar. That's really all that I have in my house right now. It is let's say 2:01. The name, oh man, STX. That is hilarious. Here's why. Moonborn, he does everything for me. He does the graphics, he does the design, he does these little widgets for me, he does my cards. He actually did that song. It is AI generated, produced, whatever. I don't know how he does it, and he does like lyrical stuff and a lot of stuff to make it work. But the song is called Pizza and Porn. The whole joke behind it is that anytime I go onto Captain Amazing streams, I tell him that his sound his songs in the background sound like The Matrix mixed with porn, like 70s like porn. So he produced the song Pizza and Porn for me. He does have some other songs. There is the Fuck You Bones song that Bones likes to play on his streams. There is the Gungi's intro song, which is a favorite of mine. I believe that he has an album on Spotify of all of these songs. I need to get him to do a couple more so that there is more music that I can maybe just play in the background. But I do lean on him a lot, so, you know, I try not to bug him too much. I guess I have to change this timestamp to 2:02 for ConWarlock. Let's see. I know I've reviewed this guy before, and I know you're always on the streams, Warlock. I saw you earlier. I don't know if you're still on, but Executors, Leviathans, yeah, I get top 10 almost every day, sometimes better. CT3 on most of them. Places of Power, CT2. Secrets and Shadows, CT1. Fanatic Elevation, CT2. Duel of the Fates, Tier 1. Pretty Patrol, Tier 1. Okay. Finishing JML, then Lord Vader are gonna farm badass motherfuckers requirements as soon as they go to nodes to complement Lord Vader. All right, so you're gonna farm him for the clones, but you're like, I might as well do the other two as well in order to get him. After that, Profundity, more or less, I think it's the smartest path. What I want advice on is when to do Jedi Knight, Cal Kestis, Leviathan, and Lover Boys. Okay, so what I was going to say is your timeline is long. So, you know, when we look at your timeline, it can be really tough to say, oh, do this, do that, because if all of those things are hard requirements, the game is fundamentally different in 6 to 8 months, and it's really hard for me to say, oh, you should do something when I don't necessarily know that it's going to change or not. But if our goal here is really to answer this question of when to do Jedi Knight, Cal Kestis, Leviathan, and Lover Boys, maybe I can help you slot those in. Fury class is at 168. Malgus is at 210. 168, 330 minus 168 divided by 20. So you're looking at like 8 months in order to even start the Leviathan anyway, unless you're buying the Conquest Pass, the big Conquest Pass, the Big Daddy one to get Conquest Plus, and then you're looking at least 4 months still. But let's take a look at the account, which is over here. 7.3. You have the full Executor lineup. Chips. I've been saying this a lot lately, just to make you aware of it. I haven't tested it. I haven't done this. Somebody, Mr. McClunky, he's on the streams a lot. I don't think he's on this morning. He did make me aware of a really strong Executor versus Leviathan counter using the Mark 6. I'm not an expert on it, but if you are someone who is trying to fleet climb, but you're having trouble doing like more than just top 10 and you really want to get into that top 5, you might consider looking into farming the Mark 6. The only negative to that is, if I remember correctly, the Mark 6 is a Cantina farm, which means that you would have to cut off your signal data for however long that is. I'm gonna just check in a second. I'm like 85% sure that it is a Cantina farm. Looking in my game right now, Mark 6 Interceptor. Yes, it is. It's a 12 Cantina farm. So you would be looking at 330 times 5. No, 330 times 3 is 990. 360. 360 plus 165. God, Stop. 360 plus 165 divided by 12. You're looking at 44 battles a day. 990. You'd be looking at about 22 days worth of cutting off your signal data, which, you know, can be tough. But if that is the thing that is holding you back from getting into the top 5 constantly, into the top 3 constantly, that may be worth it as a very quick, easy thing you can do to increase your crystal income. You did get Jedi Master. Oh, you're probably still finishing him, but you do have Jedi Master Luke now. Vance, I'll tell you that I'm completely maxed on my Conquest, dude. You know, you're not doing bad though. You're doing okay, and I did a couple of the battles for you this morning. 1, 2 GLs, Jabba, JML. Where are my lover boys at? Kills me. It hurts my very soul. Only at 7. It's not the worst thing in the world. 2. Keep pressing the wrong thing. Gear needed. So what are the things that we isolated as definite? Lord Vader. Okay, so let's see what Lord Vader looks like. Lord Vader, you're very close to. Okay. It's really just relic levels and General Skywalker. All right, so you want to do the clones and Jedi. I mean, I don't personally think, you know, that Jedi Master Mace Windu is a hard sell for you. And probably where your guild is at as well. Like when we look at the raid, the amount of score you're going to need is like 2 million. You'll probably get there just with the clones, but I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to kind of slot in 3 things for you. I would actually do Profundity first. I understand that you're hard selling all of your things, but do your Profundity as your next project because you're so close. Because what you want to do, if you don't feel like you need Profundity right now, which, by the way, there is a Profundity Mark 6 counter as well, but if you don't feel like you need Profundity now, it's better to go for this first, because then over the next 4 to 5 months or 6 months or 8 months or 10 months, whatever amount of months you feel like you don't need it, you're getting free shards for that, which isn't the same as with Lord Vader. And, you know, because you want the new clone team, you don't want to really heavily invest in Lord Vader's team when it's going to be a completely switched team. So doing Profundity first will actually buy you a little bit of time there. No, because again, you're not going to want, you don't have Maul. You're not going to want to, you're just getting Lord Vader now in preparation of these clones. And you're not going to want to invest in all of these characters that aren't going to make him, that are going to make him amazing when you're going to have to change that anyway. So I think what I would do is, I just want to check my Jedi Knight Cal Kestis stuff. They are all 7 stars at least. Okay, what about my guild? Your guild, not my guild. Gustav, you go to my Discord. If someone would be kind enough to link it, I have a whole area over there set up. Jedi Knight Cals. Okay, so your guild is either doing Zepho or close to doing Zepho. It's tough. We have 50 people that have Zepho, are Zepho able, and still we only have like 35 to 37 that complete it each time, specifically because it is a pain in the ass mission. I generally do beat the mission without issue, but you know, some people don't have the same modding that I have. It would be definitely nice for you to do that. I think that I would do profundity. You know, if I'm following the exact things that you want done, I would do profundity first. I would do Jedi Knight Cal Kestis second to help your guild out with that. I would really strongly prioritize Lover Boys to R7 as a bare minimum. You are only 7.3 million, so I don't think it's a necessity to bring them to R9 right now, though I strongly recommend R9 on them better sooner rather than later. After the Lover Boys is when I would do Lord Vader, because that is going to buy you the time you need for all of the farming of his clones, right? Leviathan, unless you are buying the Conquest Plus Pass, you are, or spending tons of crystals on Proving Grounds, you are at a bare minimum of 8.5 months, so 9 months away from it. So as much as it is a great ship, it's not really a strong priority for you. You'll be spending way too many resources to get it in a timely manner. So again, I would just reverse these orders. I would do Profundity, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, Lover Boys at a minimum to R7 after that, but I will always tell people R9. You're just at a place in the game where the R9 maybe isn't as important. Then do your Lord Vader and work, you know, and as they become farmable, so Oppo is farmable now. You can start farming those guys now, because a lot of this stuff that you need, you don't need normal energy for. After that, I would do my Lord Vader. And I'm honestly, this stuff isn't, at that point, with Leviathan, this doesn't show ships, right? Okay. At that point with Leviathan, you can probably start farming the Leviathan, because it's going to take you another like 2 months to get this done and the other ships done that need to be done. And at that point, you'll be pretty close to having Malgus and the Fury class. So that's going to be the last thing that you're going to focus on. That's all based on your timeline and the questions that you're specifically asking. I think that that's the right way to do things in the way that is most efficient for the plan that you have personally outlined as you want to do. LOL. Okay. All right. So let's move on from there, because I think we have solved the problem on that one. We have AkraytDragon, who is up next, who I also think I have done one for in the past. It is we're going to say 216 install. I get needy and I go, you know what, we're going to stall because I don't want to have to type out extra numbers. So for the next 30 seconds, you're going to just listen to me talk about nothing at all while I scroll up and down on my screen, waiting patiently and watching the clock tick by so that I can just type zeros instead of having to remember and memorize numbers and write them down. We are coming down to the 10-second mark before we actually do this roster review. Stand clear of the closing doors. And welcome to Disneyland. Ooh, I could get sued for that. All right, there we are. 216. AkraytDragon. Most of Leviathan, some executors 1 and 2 profundities. I get 1 every day with Leviathan. Awesome. The dual, oh man, like you're on enough to know that this really kills me. And you must be further ahead than, you know, Warlock was, where this just hurts my very soul. And I feel like I have said that exact line, this hurts my very soul, so many times in the last 2 months to people. Pretty Patrol, not as much. Gearing Lord Vader to relics and finishing his ult. Was planning on going JMK next. I plan on finishing LV, but I'm flexible after that. I'm going to stop you right there without having looked at your roster yet. JMK is a great character. JMK with Cat is an amazing team. But they are a low priority team now, especially in a post-Balin world. I love the team. I use it every GAC. But there are other options. There are other things that are going to give you a lot more for your buck, right? A lot more bang for your buck. Favorite characters? No. All right, let's take a look. Especially at oh my god, being at 11 million, not having the lover boys, just like that, it kills me. It really, really, really kills me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 GLs unlocked. Lord Vader, is he unlocked? He must be. Yes, he's just tweeted. So 7 GLs unlocked. You have JMK and Ahsoka left. Ahsoka also not really a high tier, high priority for most people. 543 raids. So you're looking at needing about a 2 million score on this next raid. Do you have... You don't have Keller and Beck. I'm going to tell you right now that I do think that the Keller and Beck team, looking at the R5 tier of this new raid, it looks like that's going to be the new Luminara team, right? So just something to consider. I think that Beck plus whoever is going to be the team that is the most free-to-play useful. And especially with guilds going towards Mandalore and getting the Chirotech, I believe that it is something that should be strongly, strongly considered to be able to help your guild. I have not looked at any of your other raid-based stuff yet. Bad Batch, it looks like you have been seemingly at least slow farming. It's hard to tell how much farming priority you've given, especially with the bonus that we just got. It kind of obfuscates where we are. These guys, you did like the 4 or 5 star trick, so you haven't really put a ton of priority towards it. But again, I think for where you are in the game and where your guild is in the game, if you work Keller and Beck in, you probably don't need to put too much priority towards too much raid stuff, and like even doing bottom tier will put you put you at the raid averages that your guild is going to need early on in the raid cycle. So I would say Bo-Katan Mandalore is a really solid option for that reason, because of Beck and because of Mandalore being so useful. We have all this stuff. Don't really care about that stuff. Okay, just see if there's any glaring omissions. Oh, you do have new. So even like Keller and Beck and Jocasta new are probably going to make a solid free-to-play friendly team for this raid. And if you bring that team, I'm not going to really... I think R7, but just because you need Keller and Beck at R7... but I'm not going to tell you to do that until we get like raid knowledge, like actual raid knowledge. Check on the remnants. Interesting. So you do have them all at G12 or R7, I should say, at least. You're in this interesting place where you're in a guild that's maybe a little more casually oriented. you could probably, with some raid, if you wanted to move guilds, you need to prioritize the raid more. But I'm going to give you advice based on the raid that you're currently in, because I do think it strongly changes the advice that I would give. Based on the raid that the guild you're currently in, I see you as not having to prioritize the raid too much. I would do Bo-Katan Mandalore in the short term, but I would very strongly recommend you bring the Poncho Brothers to R9 yesterday. I think somebody said that last week that the best time to bring Poncho Brothers to R9 was last month. The second best time is right now. I strongly agree with that, especially with where you are in the game. Your first priority after you have finished Lord Vader, who's at G12, is your Poncho Brothers. Your second priority, I think, is Bo-Katan Mandalore, because it'll get you Keller and Beck. And Bo-Katan Mandalore is just going to help you and your guild out with Mandalore. And then, just because you're in this really unique position, hey Berm, how's it going, buddy? I need to just start stopping in on your streams before I start streaming in the mornings, on my own, because I normally get down to my computer pretty early, and then I just sit here and twiddle my thumbs. So I gotta remember to do that next week. So I think with Keller and Beck, you'll kind of meet the raid quota that you need to meet. And after that, because you don't need to put in a ton of raid priority, I actually think it's a really good time to bring your Imperial Remnant threesome, the Dead Brothers band, to at a minimum of Relic 7, because you're going to be in this weird period where it doesn't look like you're someone that wails, so the Pirate GL is not going to be an early option for you, and you don't need a lot of raid prominence, so you're in a position where you should be focusing on finishing out building the back end of your account, right? And that's hard for a lot of people to do because they need to prioritize other things. But I think for you, being in a position where nothing is going to be really going on and you're not going to have to put too much focus on things, that is probably your best course of action. Now, because you are finishing Lord Vader now, I will say that it does make sense to, at a bare minimum, slow farm the clones as they become farmable. We are still going to be getting 3 more instances of their era battle, so you'll get some more shards too. It'll be much quicker than the 6 months that we're normally used to. But again, I would say once you finish Lord Vader, that is your time. Do the Lover Boys, then Beck and Bo-Katan Mandalore to help your guild. Then it's a really great time for you to get the Imperial Remnants out of the way, because you're in a position to be able to do so, and all the while slow farming the clones. Now, when I say do Bo-Katan Mandalore and Beck, I am also saying that during that time, make sure that you have a full Jedi Vanguard team. And we don't know what that Jedi Vanguard team is going to be for Beck yet, as your B team, because there'll be different options, but we will know that within the next 2 weeks. We'll be able to make that assumption. Owie, these bonus drops are crazy. And I was actually saying at the beginning of the stream that it actually kind of screwed me, because I took a couple of my G12 rejects to G13 under the assumption that I had another month and a half for my Bad Batch, and now I'm out of med packs. I have no med packs left, and I need to take all of these Bad Batch up to G13 within the next 2 days. How many Jabbas? Man, I've been off the Jabba train for a while because everybody kind of like nobody even bothers to get a review from me when they don't have Jabba anymore, right? Like I used to have these toppers over here. Let's see, where are they? My alerts toppers. And my my Jabba one. I haven't had to use this in like literally forever. We have my Jar Jar spending one that has been up there, and that does need to be dropped down to 0, thanks to my friend Mystery getting me the episode pass today. My review list is very small, actually. I'm literally like finishing it up. I have one more that's in my review list for the day. But AkraytDragon, that is, that's what I would do, man. And that's how I would do it. Let's get Mystery in here. My review list is interesting because sometimes it's like 12 people and I'm like, how am I ever going to ever catch up with it? And then sometimes it's like really, really small. I do this all through Discord. I can't promise I'm getting to it today, but I do it all through Discord. And if I don't do it today, I tag people on Discord afterwards and I timestamp it, so that it is easy for you to go and not watch my content and only watch the part that is pertinent to you. All right, let's come over here. Let's go back to Discord. Yeah, Itsamystery. What time is it now? Even though you're here, I still want to timestamp it so that just in case you need to rewatch it, it's easy for you to find. While we're waiting for that timestamp to hit the 00, it is Prime Sub Day, so if you don't use your Prime Sub and you are a Prime member, don't forget to send me $2 through your Twitch Prime Sub for free without having to actually send me any money at all. I think the non-Dead Boys people are starting to get scared too, Nee. All right, let's see. What do we got? We got Mystery here. Just got back into the game hardcore when DS Clones came out. Before that, I went super casual on the game for 6+ months. So you played, but you were like chilling like Bob Dylan or a villain. Top 20 Leviathans and P1s. I am in the Discord with them. Assault battles are mostly up there. Military Might CT2 is interesting. Ground War CT2 is interesting. That tells me maybe no JML. The fact that you have Fanatical Devotion. So we're going to check out these assault battles and see if there's quick things we can solve. Darkside clones and LV. I got back into the game because of the clones. I think ROI and efficiency is important, but the fun farm of LV clones brought me back. Hey man, listen. This is why I do this survey. Right? A lot of creators don't do a survey and they just like tell you like do this, done. I do this survey so I can get an idea of the person behind the account so that when I am giving advice, I am not telling people not to do the things that are not fun for them. Because if you're not doing anything that's fun and you want to be doing something that's fun, then you are in this really weird place where you're not enjoying the game you're playing. Working on Ezra shards from the Conquest shop. Currently up 305, 145 for new, 215 for Luthen. All right, let's see. Let's check this out. Oh, I didn't actually put your GG up yet. So let's actually do that. There we go. 10.5. Rank 12 with Leviathan. Are you hitting like top 5 most days? Because I don't know when this rank got reset. I know you're in the Fleet Discord. I see that Scimitar is in there, so you at least try to climb. I'm going to assume you're going for those, that at least like number 1, top 5. I sometimes hit 3 just because I don't care to climb. As long as I'm in the top 3, I'm like, I don't give a shit. 3, 4, 5, 6 GL. Did we get Lord Vader yet? No, we're still farming for Lord Vader. Let's check out where are we at with these clones. Okay, 1, 2. So we're just really relicking them at this point. Want to check out your guild for the raid. 136. So you need about 3 to 4 million as your raid requirement. Are you planning on taking these guys and Tarkin to R9? Oh, regular arena. I try to stay in the top 50, but I don't really give a shit about regular arena. But while we're looking at this, I just want to check out a few things. So, Imperial Troopers. Fears, Stark. What I will tell you is Forest Moon, you can do at CT3. Well, yeah. No, you should be able to do it at CT3. Imperial, which one is this? Imperial Intelligence. Well, you might need this Zeta, and you're probably in a Zeta crunch. You have third. You do have Third Sister. Did you just get Third Sister? Because you should be able to do Forest Moon at CT3 with you should be able to do Forest Moon at CT3 with your Inquisitors with Third Sister lead. I've seen it done. I've seen it done several times. Just basing myself, looking at this. I mean, you maybe want to remod a little speed specifically for the event itself. But I know for a fact that the Inquisitors with Third Sister can do Forest Moon for you. Military might. And I will tell, do you have, where is she? Do you have her yet? The Ewoks melted you. It might just be a speed issue right now, honestly. I will tell you, if you do, I see that you have Mon Mothma here also. At level 1. If you bring her to level 85 and even just take her up to where you start using Kyrotechs. I know one of the guys I worked with for a while, he had not great rebels. And if you do Commander Luke Skywalker, 2PO in the second slot, Han Solo, C3PO, and Mon Mothma. And Mon Mothma, this guy did it at like gear 8. No mods, no Zetas. What you do is you open up Military Might. You use the event special on everybody. And then you just hit auto. So you should be able to do that Military Might with just investing the credits to 85. And then really just bringing her up to the point where she needs Kyrotech. And it shouldn't be an issue at that point. Maybe you need to refresh it or like restart it like 2 or 3 times, but you shouldn't have a problem. I know it's helped a ton of people. I posted that on Reddit like a year ago, and there were so many people that were like, holy shit, how did that work? And it did. Secrets and Shadows, not a big deal. Fanatical Devotion, another one that you should be able to do at CT3, but it sucks. Even with Third Sister, it's such a chore. You are going to definitely have to like put your God mods on all of your Inquisitors. And the basic strategy is, I think I did it with Grand Inquisitor as the person, but is to get all of the stacks, like slowly go through the round so that you always kill with a stack of the special ability so that they're stacking offense constantly, so that you can delete things. And even doing that, it sucked. It was not fun. is R9. Look at you. This is what you need, is R9 here. All right. So knowing all of that stuff, JML is very close. Lord Vader. So we're finishing up Lord Vader. Great. So Lord Vader clones. Don't need any of this. Okay. Collection. Have Rey. You're gonna have Hezra really soon. Hezra is gonna go great with your Rey squad because you don't have Ahsoka. I don't see anything that's like, you know, when you see something that's just like, oh, how do you not have that? I don't see anything too terrible here. There was one other thing that I wanted to look at, and now I forgot what it was. Oh, I know. One recommendation I would make here, I think you're in a similar situation as AkraytDragon, where you're not going to have to overinvest in the raid, especially because you're doing the R9 for the clones. So it is a time where you can kind of work on some of these projects to be able to build out the ROI on your account. I would definitely focus on ground war, because you shouldn't have that's like 3 days worth of work. That's nothing. Military might is just going to be about remodding to make your guys fast. Fanatical devotion it's a time and remodding thing. I would strongly recommend that you at least bring Enoch, Death Trooper Peridia, and Night Trooper to 5-star. And the reason I strongly recommend bringing them to 5-star, and then, yes, bringing them up, you know, to an acceptable level, is so that you can take advantage of tier 1 and tier 2 of that event, so that when it's time for you to farm them, you don't have to farm them as much, especially as they start to slowly become accelerated in the next couple of months. It's just something to keep in mind. I do see it as a high ROI event. It's just not as high an ROI event as the Lover Boys. And I do believe that building out your ROI on your account is one of the smartest things that you can do, especially because we're going to be in a position where I think it's unlikely that you are going to whale on whatever the new GL is. And the clones are going to be enough to put you in a position for the new raid where you don't have to invest too heavily otherwise in other things. So it gives you time to work on stuff. I really, really, really strongly recommend that you finish the rectangle. I call it the rectangle. We've drawn funny graphics of it before, which is essentially Leia, Jabba, JML, and Profundity. Right? You are so close to JML, like painstakingly so close to JML. And hey, Mon Mothma will just make it a hell of a lot easier for you to be able to do that military might anyway. And I would do Profundity as well, because the way I see it, it's so much better. it's so much better as a player to farm ships before you need them. Because if you farm Profundity now, I personally think Profundity is going to get a lifter in the next 6 months. But I can't confirm that. I don't know. But if you farm it now, and that does happen, you're going to want Profundity. And then you're going to want it at 7 stars. So you're going to spend 25,000 crystals on it. It's much better to do that now and get 6 months of free shards as they come out. I think it's really smart for you to finish out that ROI and to at least start yourself down the path of ROI for Imperial Remnants. I did notice that your Ground War is still at CT2, and I forgot to look at that, so I do want to look at that. Yeah, I think you could be doing Ground War at CT3. I would say Jedi Knight Luke lead. Take all of the speed off of him. All of it. Jedi Knight Luke lead. Right? You want him as slow as you possibly can get him. And then I would do, like, Jedi Knight Revan. I wouldn't do Kenobi in there. So you have General Kenobi, who will be your tank. So Jedi Knight Luke, Jedi Knight Revan, General Kenobi. I'm kind of going one way or the other on General Skywalker, because General Skywalker does make things easier, but he can also be a real pain in the ass because of his 2 turns. So I think maybe like Grandmaster Yoda and Ki-Adi-Mundi. And the whole goal is you use your granted special, Jedi Knight Luke's granted special from his lead, to speed limit everybody. And then you take out most of the enemy team. And when you have like 2 enemies left, you start going slower to stack up, to get back the stun and get back his granted special. And when you have that, you know, on the very last guy, you use the granted special so that the next time you loop around, you will start the round with Jedi Knight Luke. Do you need, I think, is that the speed limit? Do you not have that? Yeah, I mean, you're going to need the Zeta for Heroes Arise. You will, and I mean, I'm going to tell you right now that I do still find uses for Jedi Knight Luke in GAC. I do find uses for Heroes Arise, especially in 3s. I don't think it's a wasted Zeta to have. You could wait until you have Jedi Master Luke and not do that, but personally, Jedi Knight, well, you'll actually still need it, because Jedi Master Luke, you don't want as the lead. If you use him, you're going to still want Jedi Knight Luke as the lead. I would recommend that. I'm actually not a dad. I am a cat dad. So I have cats. I have 2 cats. I mean, it's a lot of scattered advice, man, but I really, after your Lord Vader, if other than those small things that I kind of isolated for you, I again would very, 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 very strongly recommend pursuing Profundity and Jedi Master Luke to kind of round out everything that that you have on your roster. Did any of what I just said make sense? Do you have other questions? Any other questions? Hope what I said made sense. You're a JML. Listen, I am a JML R9 hater. For those of you that don't know, I did that. My favorite video of all time is my JML, I will not R9 JML book that Moonborn and I did. And it is on YouTube. It's like my favorite thing. We are writing a second one. I just haven't had time to sit down with it. It's called 1 Cup, 2 Cup, Relic Cup, New Cup. It's about half done. And he sent me some assets for it that I think are really, really funny. I just have to have the time to sit down and actually put it together and do it. Yeah, I don't. R9, I am hard no on R9 JML. I'm sorry. I don't see the return on investment for me. Maybe one day if I need him for TB, I'll consider it. Everybody always likes to come at me, bro, and they say, oh, well, he'll help you in this, and I just don't care. It's not how it is. Your clone mods? Yeah, I mean, I can look at those. I'm not really the best modder, but I can try to help you out. No, you don't need JML's ult, but like, there's no real reason not to get it. You know, like R9 JML takes a ton of my resources. The ult resources for JML, it's really just borrowing it from another character constantly. Speed. From what I understand, ooh, these are not that bad. You're gonna want your, like, they're not terrible mods, but you're gonna want Disguised Clone Trooper as fast as humanly possible. So you're definitely gonna want something different here on that triangle. I'm actually pulling up mine as well in the background so that I can kind of see my own. Yeah, I mean, I have similar. My Disguised Clone Trooper is 339 speed, and I think mine is actually slow and need to bring up some of these mods, but I can never catch a break on speed. So I would definitely look for a replacement on this 8.5% offense. I'm not going to put my time and resources into it. Scorch, you have your protection mods, nice. I've heard he wants to be fast. These are not bad. Do I have a speed arrow on Scorch? I know I need to take it off, but that just reminds me to look. I don't think I had a protection arrow. Oh, no, I do. These are not terrible. CX2. By my CX2. Speed set. Yeah, we go with health, right? All health stuff. Health. 16. Interestingly, I don't know how other people are modding him, but health and speed, I would say, like, wouldn't it make more sense? I'll have to look into why health is on here instead of protection. Oh, because he probably has a much higher health stat, right? No, not really. Well, the reason why you want Disguised Clone to go a lot is because he's going to have Order 66, right? And that makes him do insane amounts of damage. And that's kind of the thing. Turn order, I have no idea. Mine, he, I think, goes first in my squad. But it's really just about being able to cycle through Order 66 to be able to delete the hell out of shit. I don't think anything is really bad on any of your mods. I do think, you know, for some things, like you had that one speed mod on Disguised Clone Trooper, I'd really try to replace this thing But I think you do have the right idea, and you know, it's all about just being as fast as possible, and I've found that that has definitely changed my ability to perform. There you go. See, there's your answer. I actually didn't know that mystery. So you just taught me something. And that makes sense. This is why I stay in my lane. It's hard. The reason I don't touch modding a lot is because, one, it's very subjective, but two, when you get a really great mod and you don't get great roles for it, you maybe know how to mod your character, but you just haven't gotten it yet, you know, and that can be really tough for some people when you're constantly rolling mods that are just not working for you, and then you just go with something on the offhand. So I try not to spend too much time on perseverating on people's mods unless they're just like really that bad. You know what I mean? It's just such a it's just one of those things that's like, ugh. Let's see. Do we do one more? Do I have time to do one more? Do I have time? Do I have time? We're going to see a movie. I don't think I have time to do one more this morning. I know two of you popped in from Berm's stream and are very excited. Again, I know, I see them there. I just, unfortunately, I don't think I have the time. I'm meeting my in-laws today for a movie. But here's how we do them. If you haven't seen my reviews, next week, when I do them, if you're on the stream, great. If you're not on the stream, I do timestamp them, and I tag you in the video afterwards so that you can, you know, watch just the part that is applicable to you. What we are gonna do on the back end here is we're gonna raid out to Womp Rat because I see him on, and then I'm gonna go see the Karate Kid. I do appreciate you guys joining me this morning, and all the support that I get most of the time. Like, comment, subscribe, something like that. I don't know. Share my videos if it's helpful. Somebody actually in a thing recently is like, I hope you don't mind that I share this on my Discord with everybody. And I was like, no, of course I don't mind. That's what I want. That's very helpful to me. But for those fathers out there, before we leave, happy Father's Day. As long as your father's not a dick and you're not seeing him today, text him. Tell him, I said this on Mother's Day, I've been Batmaned. Text Dad if you're not seeing him, and tell him that an internet stranger reminded you to text him and say Happy Father's Day. My dad died of brain cancer about 2-3 years ago. So spend that time. It was very fast. Spend that time with them, and don't take it for granted. And I will see you guys. I'll see you guys a bunch next week while my wife is away. So have a great rest of your day. Not to end on a bad note, that is.